There are times when knowing your pawn structure can mean the difference between a victory and a defeat, especially in the end game. So here we have an example where we only have 3 white pawns and 3 black pawns. Now, it is possible for white to be able to have a passed pawn, but to do it is you're gonna need some institutional knowledge. And how you would do that is this. You could, if it's white's move, they play up, okay? So now, no matter which pawn captures that pawn, we're still going to have a passed pawn, and let's see how that turns out. So I just pushed that pawn, and so now the rook pawn is going to capture, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the bishop pawn. Now what's going to happen here is if the black pawn takes the white pawn, then I have a passed pawn. I'm just going to push that all the way in for a major piece. However, let's try it from the other side. So if again it's white to move, and let's say that instead of taking with the rook pawn, they take with the bishop pawn. Now what are we going to do? Okay, so in this instance it's the same thing, just slightly different. So we're going to push the rook pawn, and so if the black captures the white pawn here, well then white captures and he's in. If the knight pawn captures the rook pawn, and then that pawn is now going to be here, and then we're going to promote on in. Now, it's all a matter of gaining tempo. Tempo gives you opportunities, and that's why I say be careful not to waste time, because if it was black to move, he blocks everything by playing the knight pawn out. And then there's an exchange, and the white pawns do not get to promote. So good luck with being able to study this concept, because it's going to be at some point in your playing career it's going to come up, and if you know the trick here, you're going to be able to promote a pawn to a piece, and hopefully it'll be the decisive edge that you need to be able to win the game. Good luck, and I'll see you next week.